G'day guys, pretty exciting stuff happened in the last couple of days. The Premier of Victoria in Australia here, he eased up the restrictions very little with the COVID lockdown, and now we can get out and visit some friends, and up to 5 people I think it is if you're indoors, and 10 if you're outdoors or something like that. But the more important thing is I can actually hop back on the motorbike, we can hop in the car, we can go places and film some really cool stuff that's around our area. So in the coming weeks, we'll get up to Mount Hope, we'll get up to the Murray River, we'll go into New South Wales, we'll do some pretty cool stuff and go visit some really nice places and show you how to take some photos of those cool places. But today, this 3-Minute Thursday, what we're looking at is the 3 photos that we took on Monday in the early hours of Monday morning with the fog, with those stars up in the sky and with that dead tree. We'll look at those 3 photos, the Moment app photo, the slow shutter app photo, and the regular camera app photo, and we'll look at how those 3 photos look after the edit in Lightroom, and we'll get on with that. All right, let's start the clock and we'll get into it. All right, let's get into these edits. First of all, we're going to use the photo that we took with the slow shutter app, and you can see immediately here that the tree is way too bright. So we'll try bringing the highlights down. That's essentially what's happened with this tree. The highlights are so bright, they're all blown out. We'll increase the contrast a little bit as well. I find Lightroom's a really good tool for doing this sort of an edit. It's much better, I find, than Snapseed. It is a paid app, Lightroom Mobile, but because of the photography that I do, yeah, I generally pay for that subscription anyway. So we've done the contrast and we've done the highlights. So we'll go into the colour now. That tree there looks pretty yellow to me. So we'll go to the colour mix first, hit on the yellow tab there, bring the luminance down so it's not quite as bright in the yellows. Change the hue a little bit and desaturate it a little as well. That's not too bad. We'll try a little bit more. I find having a play with these sliders here will get you, you'll learn more about the software and learn more about the edit. So I quite like how that one looks there. Overall, you can see the stars. It's got a bit of a vignette naturally as well with the lens that was used on the phone. So we'll play with the dehazing and we'll play with the vignette, and you can see the stars starting to pop in the outside there. Remember, this was just pre-dawn, so the little bit of light on the horizon there, it shows up in the sky quite well. So that one's done. We'll export that one and we'll open up the one that we took with the Moment app, and immediately you can see the phone used a different lens. That's okay, it's not the end of the world. We're not that far away from this tree. But the main thing that I've noticed with this is that the stars just aren't quite there. We'll try and bring some stuff out here. We'll zoom in, have a look at that, the weeds and stuff on the ground. It's not really in focus. Remember, we used the light trails mode on the Moment app. It's not quite for, well, it's certainly not for this at all. But we're going to try and use it. You can see there as I zoom in, lots of stars. It's picked up lots of stars, but you can see those grids there. That's something in the software of the Moment app to capture the light trails. I found this when I've done some light painting before. Generally, I find this is not a good app for this sort of thing. When it's really low light, like where we are, it doesn't work that well. But like I said before, it's not what it's designed for. I'm all about trying different things that are on the cheap to see if we can capture some cool stuff. It just didn't work. But anyway, we'll turf that, we won't even bother with it. Let's go straight into this photo. This photo here is the native camera app photo. This is by far my favourite one. It's worked pretty well. Go into the light bars there, increase the contrast. There's not too much highlight there on the tree. We'll take it down a little bit. We'll play with the shadow, see if we can bring something out in the ground there. So we'll increase that a fair bit, and that's worked pretty well. We'll go into the colour. We'll hit onto the colour wheel there, and we'll hit onto the colour mix selector. And I've put it there on the trunk of the tree, and what you can do with this is as you hit it there, it will select that colour, and you can change the hue of that colour by moving your finger around the screen there. That didn't work as well as I was hoping it would work, so we'll use the colour mix colours again. Go to the yellow, we'll change the hue of the yellows on that tree and increase the luminance. To be honest, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that looks pretty good. In the effects tab here, we'll increase the clarity. I like to do this with the star photos. don't want to do it too much. It tends to bring in a bit of noise. It's got a good vignette on that photo anyway with the iPhone. I don't mind that at all. So we'll put a bit more vignette and increase the roundness and the feather of that vignette as well. I'm going to try a little bit of noise reduction here. Noise reduction kind of goes hand in hand with astrophotography, but if you look closely here, you can see all these artifacts that are all over this. This is the main thing I don't like about the iPhone with the astro sort of photography. It's not so much noise, it's more artifacts, and you can't get rid of it. I haven't found a way to get rid of it anyway. But when you're looking at it so close in, it's not too bad. So anyway, we'll export that, and we're done. 3 Minute Thursdays, well, it was 3 minutes before, but not so much now. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Come back next week on Monday and we'll drop a new video. It's a pretty interesting video that we've got coming up here. A few people have been asking for this one. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, guys. Come along the journey. Learn a few things about taking photos with your mobile devices. Okay, see you on Monday. Cheers.